Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Saturday the 2nd of March 2024, and we have 58 events to cover, going all the way back to the year 537. Starting with the most recent event, which happened 2 years ago. Russian forces captured the city of Kherson during the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which subsequently began the start of the Russian occupation and military-civilian administration in Kherson. Kherson is the only regional capital in Ukraine that Russia captured. 7 years ago, in 2017, the elements Moscovium, Tennessine and Oganesson are officially added to the periodic table at a conference in Moscow, Russia. 12 years ago, in 2012, a tornado outbreak occurs over a large section of the southern United States and into the Ohio Valley region, resulting in 40 tornado-related fatalities. 20 years ago, in 2004, in the war in Iraq, Al-Qaeda carries out the Ashura massacre in Iraq, killing 170 and wounding over 500. 22 years ago, in 2002, in the US invasion of Afghanistan, Operation Anaconda begins, ending on March the 19th after killing 500 Taliban and Al-Qaeda fighters with 11 Western troop fatalities. 26 years ago, in 1998, data sent from the Galileo spacecraft indicates that Jupiter's moon Europa has a liquid ocean under a thick crust of ice. "29 years ago, in 1995, researchers at Fermilab announced the discovery of the top quark. 32 years ago, in 1992, start of the war in Transnistria. In the same year, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, San Marino, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, all of which, except San Marino, were former Soviet republics, joined the United Nations. 33 years ago, in 1991, establishment of Kuwait Democratic Forum, centre-left political organisation in Kuwait. In the same year, Battle of Rumaila oil field brings an end to the 1991 Gulf War. 34 years ago, in 1990, Nelson Mandela is elected Deputy President of the African National Congress. 35 years ago, in 1989, 12 European Community nations agreed to ban the production of all chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, by the end of the century. 41 years ago, in 1983, compact discs and players are released for the first time in the United States and other markets. They had previously been available only in Japan. 46 years ago, in 1978, Czech Vladimir Remek becomes the first non-Russian or non-American to go into space when he is launched aboard Soyuz 28. In the same year, The late iconic actor Charlie Chaplin's coffin is stolen from his grave in Switzerland. 47 years ago in 1977, Libya becomes the Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya as the General People's Congress adopted the Declaration on the Establishment of the Authority of the People. "52 years ago in 1972, the Pioneer 10 space probe is launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, with a mission to explore the outer planets. 54 years ago in 1970, Rhodesia declares itself a republic, breaking its last links with the British Crown. 55 years ago in 1969, in Toulouse, France, the first test flight of the Anglo-French Concorde is conducted. 56 years ago in 1968, Baggeridge Colliery closes, marking the end of over 300 years of coal mining in the Black Country. 59 years ago in 1965, the US and Republic of Vietnam Air Force begin Operation Rolling Thunder, a sustained bombing campaign against North Vietnam. 62 years ago in 1962, in Burma, the army led by General Ne Win seizes power in a coup d'etat. In the same year, Wilt Chamberlain sets a single-game scoring record in the National Basketball Association by scoring 100 points. 69 years ago in 1959, Norodom Sihanouk, King of Cambodia, abdicates the throne in favour of his father, Norodom Suramrit. 75 years ago in 1949, Captain James Gallagher lands his B-50 Superfortress Lucky Lady II in Fort Worth, Texas, after completing the first non-stop around-the-world airplane flight in 94 hours and 1 minute. "81 years ago in 1943, in World War II, during the Battle of the Bismarck Sea, Allied aircraft defeated a Japanese attempt to ship troops to New Guinea. 83 years ago in 1941, again in World War II, the first German military units enter Bulgaria after it joins the Axis Pact. 85 years ago in 1939, Cardinal Eugenio Pacelli is elected Pope and takes the name Pius XII. 87 years ago in 1937, the Steel Workers Organizing Committee signed a collective bargaining agreement with US Steel, leading to unionization of the United States steel industry. 92 years ago in 1932, Finnish President P.E. Svinhufvud gives a radio speech which 4 days later finally ends the Mansala Rebellion and the far-right Lapua movement that started it. "105 years ago in 1919, the first Communist International meets in Moscow. 107 years ago in 1917, the enactment of the Jones-Shafroth Act grants Puerto Ricans United States citizenship. 121 years ago in 1903, in New York City, the Martha Washington Hotel opens, becoming the first hotel exclusively for women. "123 years ago in 1901, United States Steel Corporation is founded as a result of a merger between Carnegie Steel Company and Federal Steel Company, which became the first corporation in the world with a market capital over $1 billion. In the same year, the US Congress passes the Platt Amendment, limiting the autonomy of Cuba as a condition of the withdrawal of American troops. "142 years ago in 1882, Queen Victoria narrowly escapes an assassination attempt by Roderick MacLean in Windsor. 147 years ago in 1877, just 2 days before inauguration, the US Congress declares Rutherford B. Hayes the winner of the 1876 US presidential election, even though Samuel J. Tilden had won the popular vote. 157 years ago in 1867, the US Congress passes the first Reconstruction Act. 159 years ago in 1865, in the East Cape War, the Faulkner Incident in New Zealand. 165 years ago in 1859, the two-day Great Slave Auction, the largest such auction in United States history, begins. 169 years ago in 1855, Alexander II becomes Tsar of Russia. 188 years ago in 1836, in the Texas Revolution, the Declaration of Independence of the Republic of Texas from Mexico is adopted. 209 years ago in 1815, signing of the Kandian Convention Treaty by British invaders and the leaders of the Kingdom of Kandy. 213 years ago in 1811, in the Argentine War of Independence, a royalist fleet defeats a small flotilla of revolutionary ships in the Battle of San Nicolas on the River Plate. 217 years ago in 1807, the US Congress passes the Act prohibiting importation of slaves, disallowing the importation of new slaves into the country. 227 years ago in 1797, the Bank of England issues the first £1 and £2 banknotes. 233 years ago in 1791, Claude Chappe demonstrates the first semaphore line near Paris. 248 years ago in 1776, in the American Revolutionary War, Patriot militia units attempt to prevent capture of supply ships in and around the Savannah River by a small fleet of the Royal Navy in the Battle of the Rice Boats. 367 years ago in 1657, the Great Fire of Mareki begins in Edo, now Tokyo, Japan, causing more than 100,000 deaths before it exhausts itself 3 days later. 526 years ago in 1498, Vasco da Gama's fleet visits the island of Mozambique. 540 years ago in 1484, the College of Arms is formally incorporated by royal charter signed by King Richard III of England. 548 years ago in 1476, in the Burgundian Wars, the old Swiss Confederacy hands Charles the Bold, Duke of Burgundy, a major defeat in the Battle of Granson in Canton of Neuchâtel. "566 years ago in 1458, George of Podiebrady is chosen as the King of Bohemia. 580 years ago in 1444, Skanderbeg organises a group of Albanian nobles to form the League of Leshe. 693 years ago in 1331, the fall of Nicaea to the Ottoman Turks after a siege. 1038 years ago in 986, Louis V becomes the last Carolingian king of West Francia after the death of his father, Lothair. 1487 years ago in the year 537, in the siege of Rome, the Ostrogoth army under King Vitiges begins a siege of the capital. Belisarius conducts a delaying action outside the Flaminian Gate. He and a detachment of his Bussolani are almost cut off. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.